we have a new lightweight champion of the world in Islam Makhachev. He defeats Charles Oliveira by second round submission. You know, I spoke to both of these guys this week, and honestly, I was so invested in this fight because they're both tremendous guys and tremendous champions. Charles Oliveira loses the title tonight, or lost the title in Phoenix, which was absolute bullshit. The guy was a champion still tonight as he walked into the octagon. It was just a matter of the weight. I mean, the scale is why Charles Oliveira lost his belt. Ridiculous. But tonight, he came out here against Islam Makachev, and when I spoke to them earlier in my YouTube videos, they were both so sure and so confident. I'd never really seen a matchup where both athletes had absolute truth or believed that they were going to win to the point that these two did. Both of these guys were extremely confident going into the fight, but as the fight started, Charles Oliveira in round one got hurt by Islam early with a left hand. And then when they got into the clinch, he pulled guard. But he was stuck there for the vast majority of round one. And I believe in that moment he realized that his normal approach to the fight would not work against Islam Makhachev, because Islam's top pressure is so great that if you put yourself in a disadvantaged position, you will not be able to find your way out of it. And I think Oliveira understood that, so in round two, he got a little bit more forward on the pressure like he normally does. He tried to walk Makhachev down. Guys, one thing that Charles Oliveira has working for him was that when he got hurt, guys would not jump on him, and he would have time to recover. He even spoke to that. Well, tonight, when Makachev hurt him with the left hand in round two, he wasn't afraid to go to the ground. So Charles didn't have those moments to kind of get the cobwebs off, and Islam ultimately got a arm triangle choke and got the finish. And I think that finish spoke to the strength of Makhachev, because this guy had the arm triangle in when he was still in the half guard. And the moment he got out of the half guard, Charles Oliveira tapped. Makachev said that he could remind Oliveira what it was like to quit. Listen, I called him out on it on a couple of occasions saying, hey man, this dude has won 11 in a row. He said there's something in you that you can always go back to when stuff starts to go wrong. And he believes, talking to him in the back right now, that that is what happened again to Charles Oliveira. I was talking to him and he goes, I told you, DC, if I reminded this guy what it would be like to be under pressure, he would go back to that place where he would give up on himself. Do I believe that to be true? I don't know. I think that's something Islam tells himself to give him confidence in knowing that he can go win this fight. But this was best case scenario for Makachev in his camp. To go out there and not only win the belt, but win the belt in that fashion, submitting the greatest submission fighter in UFC history, and then right away, setting up the fight with Alexander Volkanovski for Perth, Australia. An interesting fight, because I believe that Volkanovski can present some problems. But as John Anik has said on many occasions, how many people in the world do you favor over Islam Makhachev? And I think that is the situation that Volkanovski is going to find himself in.
Look, we know how good the wrestling is of Islam and everyone from the Dagestanian camp. We saw the striking evolve in this fight. Were you surprised how sharp he looked tonight? And is this something that you think he's going to use more moving forward?
I gotta be honest with you, his striking didn't evolve. This is who Makhachev is. He's been able to dominate these guys with one facet of his mixed martial arts game. You haven't had to see him strike because he's been so dominant with the wrestling and the grappling. Today he had to lean on that a little bit more because Oliveira was able to defend some takedowns. But this isn't new for Islam. For a long time people said, this guy may have better striking. Khabib beat you with toughness. He would walk you down and he would intimidate you. Islam is the more technical guy, and that was on full display tonight. He knocked down Oliveira. You know, when you watch this guy train, you recognize how special a talent he is. And for a long time, people at Eagles MMA and at the American Kickboxing Academy understood that this is who Islam Makhachev is and will be for a long time. The problem was Khabib was the champion, and as you know, those guys would never have fought. But the moment Khabib retired, Islam started to make his way towards the championship opportunity. Many people for years have said this guy is the uncrowned champion. Now he is no longer uncrowned.